Hello everybody, what's going on? It's the Great Static here, bringing you guys another gameplay commentary today. Today's commentary is actually going to be about the gameplay. I usually do in-life commentaries. I've been getting requests to do a lot of them, but today's commentary is going to actually be about the gameplay. And we're going to be talking about a pretty important topic about gameplay today. Today we're going to be talking about going nuclear. Alright, so there are basically two different approaches you can take if you want to go nuclear. One, you can take the forced approach, which is where you're actually trying to go nuclear, or you can take the approach where you sort of just get a nuclear in the background, but you have to do really well to do it. That's the approach I was taking in this gameplay. I wasn't anticipating going nuclear. I was using really high streaks, and eventually I just went nuclear. But let's talk about the forced approach first. Alright, going nuclear is really important on kill streaks. Going nuclear really stresses what kind of kill streaks you use. So if I was gonna force myself to go nuclear, I would run the UAV, VSAT, and EMP. UAV and VSAT for obvious reasons. You want to know where everyone is at all times so that you can't get snuck up on or anything. And EMP, they take out all enemy score streaks so that score streaks can't kill you. And they also disable your HUD, making it really hard to see where everyone is. So even if you're not using a suppressor, if you put up an EMP, they're not going to know where you're shooting from unless they have headsets and they can hear where you're shooting, like I do. And let's also talk about what gun you're going to use. This isn't related to the forced approach, but I would rush or use an assault rifle. So that's either an SMG or an assault rifle I would use. I would use the PDW probably because the PDW comes with a lot of ammo. Even though the PDW it's become a lot worse ever since Treyarch has kept patching it, but I would still use it because it's really good at close range. Or I would use some assault rifles, probably the AN-94, the MTAR, Scar H, guns like that, because going nuclear, you can either be really aggressive and rush with an SMG, or you can sort of sit back. I'm not saying you should camp. You should just move, maybe hecklich a couple of times while you're moving, and then get in long range gunfights. If you're using an assault rifle, try your best not to get into close range gunfights. You're probably gonna die if you don't. All right, let's talk about the approach that I was taking in this gameplay, which is the unforced approach. The approach where it just sort of happens in the background. Now, most of the time, I'm not trying to go nuclear because I think within the first 2 months of this game's release, no, not first 2 months, like the first 3 weeks of this game's release, I hadn't have gone nuclear yet, and every one of my friends had gone nuclear, so I decided to change that. So I actually forced a nuclear on myself. I used the UAV, VSAT, and EMP, and it worked. But ever since then, I decided to change up my kill streaks because when I went nuclear one time, I didn't think it was important. So every other time I've gone nuclear, it's been a background nuclear where I've used the high streaks, except for the time that I went nuked out. A couple of you probably saw my nuked out calling card in a couple of my videos. So yeah, that's another time that I sort of forced myself to go nuclear. But regularly, I just run like VSAT dogs and swarm and background kills while people are getting wrecked. Because when people are getting wrecked by kill streaks, it throws their focus off a lot. They can't focus on doing well. So they're really vulnerable at that time. So if you're good enough that you think you can get these high streaks consistently, like at least 3 or 4 sets of them a game, you can take this approach if you want to go nuclear. I'm not saying you should. My recommended approach is that you force yourself to go nuclear if you really want to. And what you could do is you can get a squad of about like 3 or 4 of your friends, get them to also run the same kill streaks. That really helps. I've helped my friend go nuclear twice by trying to force it. I had me, him, and then 3 of my friends running UAV, VSAT, EMP. VSATs were constantly up. There was no there was no problem getting a VSAT. He always knew where they were, and he was able to kill them. But he was also using an LMG, and he was sort of camping. But you know, it doesn't matter. And I've been having some issues with Xbox Live today. This is not talking about how to go nuclear, but the only reason I'm really making this commentary is because Xbox Live service and marketplaces are having difficulties, and I can't get online. So I decided to take some time to make this commentary because I haven't made a regular video in a really long time. I've just been putting up video clips, like the time that I got a swarm on that kid with the R870 with an R870. Yeah, don't use the R870. And that other time that I started spraying at the kid with the FAL. Pulls it up, shoots me 3 times, and I die. I mean, come on, Treyarch, please stop. And theater mode, let me know what you guys theater mode think. How you think theater mode is. Theater mode in this game sucks. Every time I've gotten a gameplay, theater mode has completely erased it or like turned it into separate clips. I got a 99 and 5 and it erased it. I got 120 and 0 and theater mode completely erased it. I mean, I have another game similar to that kind of score. It's very, very close. It is a flawless, but I'm not going to post it for a while. I mean, I want to do something with it first before I get it posted. So I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it to myself until I decide to post it to you guys. But yeah, man, theater mode is terrible. But recording live is actually pretty difficult for me because my laptop keeps shutting down while I'm recording live. So I have to figure out a way to record my gameplay any other time. And I'm trying to get another mic. I'll see if I can get another mic maybe for my birthday. I don't know. My birthday's coming up pretty soon, but I also want an iPhone. Alright guys, it's been Static. I'm out.